Hi, everybody. How's that old teaser they put up there? Is it pretty good? I can only hear it backstage, so it's good.
We'll show it to you again. We'll bring it down to you. We're going to have questions lined up. Guys, if you want to go ahead and start lining up behind any microphone location, we're going to go ahead and chat.
Oh, my God, look at that. I've been videotaping my ass this whole time.
All right.
I think I better turn that off.
I've heard of butt dolly, but you have butt videos.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering what's getting hot back there.
Dude, how you been?
Oh, man, I tell you, I've been busy. I've been a busy lad.
I understand we will be seeing the appearances of Yondu once again in GOTG2.
Yes, you will, and you'll be seeing the appearance of Mr. Spinning.
Guest of any convention, and you're just very accommodating. This guy will definitely do anything, well, almost, thank you, almost anything for you at this table, so we appreciate that.
I've done a lot of stuff at my table.
Is there video?
Yeah,
have you checked your phone later?
Some cat came up to me and said, one time he said, what would it cost me for you to kick my ass? I said, I can do that for free.
Okay, for our question and answer session, we would prefer that you not ask Michael Rooker what it would cost him to kick his ass or your ass. We like to hear other things.
No violence. We won't be doing violence. But it was a nice ass kicking. I didn't know what it hurt. It was fun. It was very simple.
What makes you so nice? I'm a big fan of parental upbringing.
Because violence is violence, but when you strike someone with love, that's nice.
What makes you so nice? Usually I'm a fan of parental upbringing now, but let's go ahead and go with our first question on this side. But you are the man. I really love that.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Van, and my question is about, I think you have an incredible voice, and my question is how that plays into your acting and the roles that you try out for and the roles that you get.
I don't try out for them too much anymore. I used to try out for them, and the harder I tried, the less I got. So I discovered that if I go the opposite way and not really care much about it, I ended up with the job. And these days, I don't even have to try out. A lot of times, they just offer the stuff to me, which for a while there, as an actor, I felt kind of like undeserving a little bit. I mean, they're just giving this stuff to me, you know? And you feel like I want to try out for it, I want to fight for it, you know? But I got over that real fast.
Well, I don't
just give it to me, damn you.
And obviously they have been.
But really to answer your question, my voice is an intricate part of who I am. And of course, it started way back when I was about 9, I believe. We were playing chase around the house. I was it was outside in the fields and stuff in Alabama, and I was always the fastest and the hardest running, and I was the guy that could jump the highest and jump off the point into the river and stuff the highest. No, I was just the weird kid, right? And so I'm running real fast one time, we're playing chase, and you've heard that whole idea of the clotheslining? They do it in wrestling all the time. Come on, I won't demonstrate. But I was running around the side of the house, and I ran straight across right into the clothesline, and it caught my neck, and I literally, it was like a cartoon. I went up and down, and I was out for the count, and the next thing I knew, I was talking like this. Wow, it's been this way ever since. One vocal cord is bowed, and one is paralyzed, so it gives off this raspy air escape, excess air escape, and creates this sound.
Wow, we've been educated. That's incredible. All right. Hey, man. My name is Joseph, and I'm a big fan of yours.
your favorite thing about Guardians of the Galaxy?
What was my what?
Your favorite thing about Guardians of the Galaxy?
Well, they had real good lunches. And they had good snacks. The snacks were good. They had these English cakes that were like instant sugar high. Okay, one bite and you're up for another 3 hours. Then there's a crash that you would not believe. Okay. Now you know what? Working with the actors. I mean, all the other actors there, Dave Bautista and Chris and Zoe and all these guys. And best of all was my great pal James Gunn, who wrote and directed the piece. So that was it, man. I love being with friends.
Are you doing any Guardians of the Galaxy too?
Yes.
All right, guys, let's leave it to one question too, by the way, so everyone.
Yeah, one question. Keep it to one question. Don't be greedy. I can barely answer one, for God's sake.
I had the pleasure of moderating a panel with both James and Sean Gunn up at DragonCon last year, and they spoke highly of you. And I think the question was at the time if you would be returning back as Yondu, and obviously you will. I'm going to go ahead and ask this question real quick on Yondu. Based on the comics, what I grew up with, Guardians of the Galaxy, and that physical look of Yondu. In fact, you were in New Orleans. You just got your hair cut, shaved off, and you had the mohawk.
Yes.
You didn't know what the heck was going on, and now the movie came out, and we saw why you in fact had that mohawk. What about the physical attributes and physical look of Yondu in the comics based on who you become now in the movies?
Well, you know, if you don't know the comics, Yondu in the comics was an awesome character. He was one of the Guardians of the Galaxies. And he had a loincloth, right? Pretty much. With sometimes big red boots. Sometimes he was barefoot. He was very native-like. He was blue all over, except for some of the renditions had him blue and red. He was sort of half red, half blue. And he had this massive mohawk / fin, which some people call it, because it went not only, it didn't stop at the nape of the neck, it went all the way down his spine. So it was hence referred to as a fin. And his fin was a very intricate part of his psyche. And it worked, he was a very, I would think maybe a naturalist, or he was very into nature. He could sense the damage of the natural environment, or if there was a disruption in the natural environment. And he used that power to listen and try to make change for the positive. So what we did in Guardians of the Galaxy, it changed. I mean, we had Yondu was in leather, and it was a very awesome wardrobe. Because of my ship was a very low ceiling. It was very low. I couldn't have the really high mohawk thing. So they had to shorten it, and they added sort of a mechanical element to it, the lights, and it was sort of as if Yondu had been mechanically manipulated at some point in his past. So, a few of the creatures had that. Rocket Raccoon had that done to him as well. And other characters you notice during the piece. Once you see Guardians of the Galaxy, if you haven't yet, you'll notice there's a through line that's going on throughout the piece that many characters have had some sort of, some kind of manipulation done to their physical bodies. And Yondu was one of those creatures.
And if you guys recall in the movie, Yondu's lieutenant was in fact Sean Gunn, which is the brother of James Gunn, who in fact did the motion capture for Rocket Raccoon. Okay, so that's that connection there. Where are we? Are we on the sign in? Yeah. Hey, dude, we are.
My name is Anthony. My question is, how long did it take you to get your makeup on and Guardians of the Galaxy?
It wasn't that bad. It was about 4 hours. Not so bad. I slept about 2 of those hours. Sometimes you do all kinds of things when the makeup's that long. Sometimes you read your script, sometimes you're preparing in an internal way for the day to come. Sometimes you do pass out. And sometimes you're not even awake when you get into work, and they just start working on you.
So you had probably a report time at 4 a.m.?
It depends on when the actual call time was, but everybody had fairly long. Dave Batista had about a 5.5 hour makeup. Zoe had a massive makeup, and then everybody did. Carrie Gillian had a big makeup as well. Sean didn't have such a big makeup. And some of the guys didn't have a lot of stuff to do, but many of us did. And yes, that's it. It's about
What'd you say? You rule, man? Now, give me the mic. Say that again. Say it to me.
You rule.
I rule. And don't you forget it.
He's still pointing you from his
So when
seat.
you get to be 16 or 17, and if I'm in some kind of movie somewhere, make sure you go 10 times.
Awesome. Hi.
Hi, I'm Brittany. I was wondering how you get your teeth so white, because whitening strips damage and like toothpaste.
I gargle and Clorox, it's a bleach. I don't think they're that white. Thank you.
That was great.
That was it.
Surgeon, message from the surgeon.
Are you going to be a dental technician sometime in your life?
No, I want to move to Korea and be a veterinarian.
That's true. They got a lot of animals over there. We don't have many of them over here. But in Korea, they got lots of animals over there.
Thank you, sweetheart. Wow, that was okay. All right.
Let's go to Korea too.
I'm gonna go there too. South Korea. You want to go to South Korea?
They got good food over there.
Then they got good what?
Good food.
They got what kind of food?
They got good Korean food over there. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
They do have some interesting food over there.
Okay, so
My name's Eli. Hello, everyone. Yes, so as a natural badass, have you ever struggled with your real name being Nina?
What?
The license they had up here had Nina in front of your first name.
oh no.
So I'm like, is Nina his real name?
No, that's the one that created.
Yes, Mina is my spiritual name. I am Mina.
I'm like Nina Rooker.
Mina, like mean. Mina. I'm a Mina mother,
I still need a drink right now. Okay. Did you have that was your question, right? Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Go ahead, guys. Here you go.
My name's Connor, and I'm Kyle, and I was wondering if you had to study for your character in The Walking Dead. You had to study for his character in The Walking Dead.
I wasn't in the comic. Merle Dixon was never in the Walking Dead comic. And so, me as well as Norman Reedus, we had a pretty free reign on kind of how we wanted to do stuff. We didn't have to sort of, in the beginning they wanted us to kind of be like the characters and some of the other guys. They had a little thing going. They had this, they got sometimes they dress like the character in the comics and all that stuff. Well, we didn't have to have that in regards to our preparation, so we got to do a lot of times sort of anything we wanted to do, and we just sort of developed the roles. And they came out really pretty cool. And many people out there still think we're real brothers.
And to touch on that, I made a point to stay away from the comics. I absolutely know nothing about the comics. It made everything real for me and original for me. I would have known that you were in the comics. Was Daryl in the comics? He wasn't in there either. But yet,
Rooker was never in the comics.
But yet they're two of the most iconic characters, right? In The Walking Dead, and they were created by literally the actors themselves. So applause to you for giving us something that's right. You guys good? All right, guys, take care.
Man, good questions.
My name is Sean, and you've ever been given by a fan?
The weirdest what?
Gift.
The weirdest gift. All my gifts are a bit offbeat. I don't know what weird is, you know. I grew up this way, so you know, many people think I'm a bit weird,
You haven't got boxer shorts
but
and
no, people don't give me that. I think people give Norman a lot more weirder things than I get.
Oh yeah.
You know, I get machetes and knives and chocolate covered pretzels and I get all sorts of good stuff. Sometimes I do these interviews and I intentionally mention like Nutella. and the next, of course, I'm doing a convention the next day or something, and you know, I get like about 8 or 9 big things of Nutella. So I feel like eating Nutella, and so I'll mention it in an interview, and I'll get Nutella. And I mentioned Jack Daniels, I get Jack Daniels. Or if I mention like Jameson's Gold Reserve. Jameson's Gold Reserve. Mercedes-Benz. Yes. Anyway.
All presents to Michael Rooker should be sent to me, and that they're forwarded. What side are we on here?
We get things every now and then, but not too many big, weird things.
Thanks, brother, for the question.
Hi.
My question is there any role that has been created or you would like to see created that you think would be perfect for you? Like, what role would you choose for yourself?
There are a lot of roles that have been created that I think would be great for me. And Denzel Washington gets them all.
Just a tiny problem. That's
No, there's no problem with that at all. I mean, look at his roles.
Yeah.
His roles are just, his roles are not like
non-ethnicity, right?
non-ethnicity, and also non-religious. His roles are roles that are like, I don't want to say anyone can play them, but his roles are you know, they deal with something other than that. I think they go deeper than that. So I have enjoyed his career immensely for a long time, and I think he makes awesome choices. Yeah.
But let's elaborate. What role could you create that would fit your personality?
I may never get that role, but it's possible I might get that role one day. And that role is like I've always really enjoyed the guy that would snap your little neck. At the same time, turn around and risk his own life to save the puppy in the middle of the boulevard. It's a weird dichotomy, it's an odd thing, but it's like that extreme anti-heroism. And
It's called mental illness.
Mental illness. The more mentally ill the person, the better I like them. So actually, when I read a script, when I say to myself, wow, I don't know how this can be played, that's the one I should do, and that's the one I like to. And those are the ones that create the creative challenge that spurs my imagination. And so those are the roles that I like to do, yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Good question.
I was wondering, when you were like growing up, if there was ever someone in your family or like a famous actor that really influenced you to become an actor, and like how old were you when you realized it's something you wanted to do for the rest of your life?
The second part was what I didn't hear that what?
Like, how old were you when you realized this is something you really want to do for the rest of your life?
Oh, wow.
How old were you when you went to
I don't know.
Who influenced you?
Yeah, there was no influences in that way. The only influences I had were like maybe TV commercials that I despised, usually. And I would be like the kind of kid that would be going like, nobody eats a hamburger like that. That's bull. I'd turn off the TV. Or, you don't drink a Coca-Cola like that. Nobody does that.
Like to
You know?
teach the world to
I mean,
sing.
come on. Double mint, please. I would have the double mint girls, but I wouldn't have the, no. But you know what I mean? I was always critical of things that were not, I think, really when I think back, it really, I was a naturalist from day one. If it wasn't something that could really happen in real life, usually I wouldn't want to do it. And look at Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, this is like as far from real life, you know, where the locations and all this stuff. But look at what's going on with all these creatures and all these people. Anything that happens up there in Guardians of the Galaxy could actually happen down here on Earth between any of us. It's very naturalistic. It is a very human element that I really hook into. And you know what? I really, the real answer is like I discovered acting when I was like in my early 20s. As far as something that I felt that, you know what? I think I could do this. And I went to a theater school called the Goodman School of Drama in Chicago, and it's now called the Theater School at DePaul University. It's an awesome conservatory program, and that means you go there and you study acting and only acting. And if you don't do it, and if you don't put out, you get kicked out. So that's the way it was at my school, and it churned out a bunch of really awesome artists, and not only actors, but wardrobe people and directors and writers and all that stuff too.
And Michael Rooker. Okay.
And me, which is like, I don't know who I am. It's just, I've always considered myself an artist before I was an actor, you know, so.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, always an artist before you were an actor. That's really cool. That cool? Yeah. Hey, dude.
Hey, my name is Alan. Huge fan of yours. When you died in The Walking Dead, did that have any effect on you as an actor, being the tough guy that you are and the badass